Hey everyone, it's Alex and Gio from Rad Tide.
Yo!
And we are here today looking at the Sideshow Collectibles Sabretooth Premium Format Exclusive. We're going to go over it, do the usual, let you know what we think. So keep watching.
Yo! Like Alex was saying, we're going to be looking over the Sabretooth exclusive from Sideshow Collectibles. The piece came out in 2019 and the edition size for the exclusive is 500 pieces. For those who do not know...
That's pretty low.
Yeah, it's really low. That's part of the reason that I picked it up, and the fact that Martin Canal sculpted this. Anybody that doesn't know, Martin Canal is my favourite ever sculptor. Everything that I see of his, 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty much in love with, even if I don't follow the line or, you know, stuff like that. Anyone that doesn't know, Sabretooth, the character otherwise known as Victor Creed, arch nemesis to Wolverine in the X-Men. His first appearance is Iron Fist number 14, and he has the other ridiculous suit, pom-pom suit with the stupid hands that I really can't stand. This is more the classic suit. The piece comes with the base, the figure, his hands, his arms up to his forearms are separate, and 2 heads. So it's very, very simple, and there's pretty much no visible seams anywhere, which is really, really good.
He's actually quite a horrible character. I remember recently I was reading the Death Hunt stuff.
Yeah, it's well bad.
He's well abusive.
Oh yeah, he's a violent, abusive, horrible human being, and he tortures Wolverine, and I like that. I like the fact that every year on Wolverine's birthday he kills someone important to Wolverine, every year. He is a savage, and actually I watched a video recently which was, it's like overpowered characters or people that are too powerful for the MCU, and Sabretooth came up because he's like, well, vicious and violent, and just like crazy and untamable. Funny thing about him actually as well is he is stronger than Wolverine, and he's faster than Wolverine. The only thing is with the adamantium, he used to actually kick the shit out of Wolverine all the time before he had the adamantium, because his healing factor is the same as well. But with the adamantium skeleton, it leveled things up better for Wolverine in fights now. But he used to, he is pretty much his superior almost everywhere, and he's wild. So Sabretooth is the unhinged version. It's almost like an alter ego when you think about it. It's almost like the Jekyll to Mr. Hyde, you know what I mean? And Wolverine is Dr. Jekyll. And this is the alter ego villain of that piece. So I'm a big Sabretooth fan, have been since I was a kid. Love the Death Hunt stuff, although I probably now, reading it, might not be as big a fan of it as when I was a kid.
Yeah, I read it, a long time ago, and then I read it literally...
Mark Teixeira, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's his artwork.
Yeah, I read it literally probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and I was just a bit like, yeah, he's a bit of a dick, you know?
Definitely.
Especially to the one, like the woman who's like following him and...
helping him, saving his arse occasionally.
Saving him to him, and she what she does is she goes in and clears his mind of all the demons and things, and she has to do it like constantly.
Daily, yeah.
But he still, even though she does that to him, he's still horrible to her. Really horrible.
Okay, so we're spinning this round. Now, let's start probably at the weakest point, which is the base. Sideshow can't do snow. No, they can't do it. They really are bad at it, in fact. Probably one of the worst for doing snow out there, in fairness. I don't know what they're thinking 9 times out of 10 with how they do snow, because it doesn't, the sculpt doesn't look like snow, the paint doesn't look like snow. It's the worst attempt at snow ever. Like, and it's not, this is very common because pretty much all of their Sabretooth pieces are in snow. And all of them are awful.
Yeah. Well, they have other pieces. I mean, the thing about looking at this now is it doesn't really resemble snow. It looks like frosting.
Looks like fucking cake.
When you then look at the skull actually in the middle of the frosting, it's kind of hidden.
It's really hidden by the paint. That should be separated. That should be a darker yellowish type of skull.
Yeah, it's almost you almost don't see it if you don't know that. I mean,
it's there.
I almost missed it. I didn't even know it was there till we got it down here.
Yeah. I like the snow effect they've done on the rocks though. That's like snow falling on rocks, which I actually think the way they've done that is actually pretty good. But they've given the rocks no edges.
Yeah.
When you have a pro paint app, they would like literally like edge these all in, so you'd see all of these sharp parts coming through, and that's what you need.
Like when the wind blows and the snow powder gets caught in between,
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
it's a very nice effect on the stones.
Yeah, I think even the stones I don't think are painted that great, to be honest with you.
I like the snow effect on them. I still think there's so much sculpt detail and edges on here that is lost with this thick, terrible paint.
Atim took a custom base of something and he put like a snow effect on it. It actually was really cool.
Yeah,
it was just like a glittery, snowy kind of like a look.
Yeah,
like a well, not glittery, like shimmery.
Shimmery, that's a good word.
I think the log is done pretty well.
Yeah, the log is good.
And you got like with
the cuts in it and that. The Wolverine cuts.
Wolverine cuts here and here, done really well. And then you kind of got the part coming off there, and it is sharp and jagged. They've done really, really well with the log, but kind of lacked on the other pieces.
Yeah, it's the weak end of this statue by a million miles. Easily the weakest part. But once you start getting away from that horrible snowy base, like I say, the rocks are okay and the tree's really good, but the snow's awful. The figure is a fucking masterpiece. It's like a really great sculpt from Martin Canal. It is rippling with detail and textures and stitching. And you can see like at the bottom of his feet, he's got like these rubber grips, which are rubber tread on his things, which are brilliant. And then you can see it's like a leather sort of toe guard and almost like a mesh for the toes over the leather. So it looks like he's made this uniform himself, which I love. There's loads of ripples in the suit and fantastic paint here. The shading here is really, really well done.
The stitching as well, going through the boots, going up the leg, separated, and you've got those shades between that. Yeah, it looks great. Looks really well done, actually. And looking at the tread on the bottom and then coming up into the toe guard and then the sort of secondary toe guard part as well with the leather. So it's done really, really well. I
love the dark browns on it as well. I love the browns where they go dark brown and then into light browns in the dark parts of his suit. I think they're fantastic. It's really worn in, and you can feel where the fabric's being stretched by his sheer size. And don't be deceived when you look at the measurements of this piece and it says 18 inches tall. It's a fucking big figure because the base is very. It's only about an inch and a half where his foot touches into it, and then he's almost, lunging forward in half. This is a big Sabretooth. So don't be deceived by the size. Putting it next to Logan, he dwarfs him easily twice the size with just the figure itself. When I first saw the tease of this piece, I loved it, and I was definitely in.
Well, the tease was the top half.
This from there.
Yeah.
Then I saw the bottom part, and I really didn't like the bulbous, bulging lower abdominals on it. I fucking hated it, in fact. And I was like, what have they done? They've absolutely ruined it. And then a strange thing happened. The more that I saw it, the more I actually thought it's growing on me. And I don't know if they changed it, but it doesn't look as big at the bottom as it did when I saw that. It looks more tapered around the waist. So either they were bad photos or it's just grown on me. It might be a weird angle. It's actually a really hard pose to get right because he's lunging forward and twisting at the same time, and it's.
I think it's quite an awkward pose.
It's really awkward.
I think it's a very awkward pose, and I think that, from having it in front of me in this position, I don't think it looks that great in this pose. I think it looks a bit weird. But I've seen it on top of your DTOF and it works up there high. Yeah. Well, there's always a display angle. I personally don't like this low at all. The angle looking down at it, I hate it, in fact. And if I walked into someone's collection and they showed it to me like that, and I had to review it, the initial feeling I'd have would be poor. Yeah. It wouldn't be a good start. Eye level, it's okay, but I really feel that up high and it lunging the way it is, it just looks magnificent from just above your eye level. I love the sculpt on this. It's my favourite Sabretooth sculpt anywhere. I think this is really, really powerful. He's really built the way I want a Sabretooth to look. I do really like, the gloves on there. I like the claws on the gloves. I love the way, it's all leather, but then it's kind of got these like layers of it. So he's got like his hand, and he's got like the pad there, and then another pad on top of that, and it's all kind of built up.
Yeah.
And you can see all the stitches, and then where his
bone claw,
the claw comes out, the elbow, you know, the way that's kind of stitched in as well. It's done. That detailing is really, really nice, and I do like that part of it, big time actually.
I really feel that this Sabretooth, the claws feel dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, his hands are open and they're huge. They're absolutely huge.
Does he use his elbow?
Yeah, stabs people with those, bro.
Does he?
Yeah, fucking brutal little bitch.
Because I know, like, originally it was more of like an aesthetic thing, like on like Wolverine's boots, where he has the things coming off.
Yeah.
On the gloves, it was just more like that, wasn't it? Before,
yeah, exactly.
Rather than actually a weapon.
I mean, the funny thing is, it's painted in a way where they're bone. So it's like a light brown going into a slightly darker brown at the tips, and the nails are exactly the same, which I really love about it. I agree with Alex. Stitching the boots are one of my favourite. I mean, the claws, hands are probably the best part.
And then all underneath here, where you see all the stitching down the
it's exceptionally well done and very well painted as well. You can definitely get the feeling that the texture and the material from the hand part versus the guards up on the wrist are different. You can see. I mean, it's stupid because you're looking at something and there is no materials, but you almost feel like this is thicker than this, and that's a good work of texture and paint.
Well, it's also like, even though the glove is pretty much all the same coloured leather, with the obviously minus shading and whatever, but they still managed to separate it really well.
Yeah,
they've done a very good job of that.
I think when you start getting into sort of the mane up at the top, there's quite a lot of separation in the hair strands and things. I think it's still a little thick in terms of paint. I think they could have thinned that out a little bit again. I mean, like I say, if you were having a professional paint, that would be full of like lines. It would be overly textured. It would be amazing. It would have loads. I mean, if you detail in all these lines much more than they have, they've masked it. They've gone right over the top of it. If you detailed in all those lines, it would be fucking mind-blowing. Yeah. But I really also like, when you get up onto the portrait, the way that the heads come away, because as you can see with the exclusive, it has sort of a guard that goes around the bottom part of his neck, and it's stitched so it makes it seamless, which is clever. So they've used that to their advantage. Now, this is the head I actually use to display this piece, and even though I've got the Mad X one as well, and I might be getting rid of that one, I really like this head. I think with the hair and it adds a lot of flow and movement to the piece personally, and it fills that gap that is there with the exclusive. There's a bit more of a gap with the X.
When I was here last time, I had both heads in my hand. I was looking at them, and I preferred the exclusive head.
Yeah.
You know, when you compare that way, when you then put on the body, the exclusive head just lacked something, and this one, has more flow to it. I totally agree with that. With this head, I mean, it's joined very well. I do think that the teeth could be done better.
Oh yeah,
by far. And then also his what do you call them, lamb chops? His like hair here, a bit mess.
It's matted. It's like a matted sort of look. But at least the sculpt is separated, and it's not all like a big lump of colour chucked on his face. There's a lot more separation in that, so it looks like matted hair.
And his hair as well could be a bit more.
That needs to be much more.
That needs to be separated a lot.
There's a lot of lines in there. They've gone right over the top of that, and it's also quite a shit colour.
Yeah,
it's really dark. I mean, he's like blonde. They should have like lightened that up a lot. Yeah, I'm really tempted to send this to Ian, this to be painted, and change this to grey and really highlight them lines, and then make him blonder. I'm really tempted. I'm this close.
Isn't his mane normally the same colour as his hair, or no?
No, this is the funny thing, you see. It depends on what type of era of comic and animated series. You've got an animated series, it's almost the same. But in certain comics, I mean, certainly the Death Hunt stuff, this is grey, and he's like really quite blonde. And that's the look I like. The suit is a little bit more orangey as well, but I mean, again, it's just a slight variation. I just find that is a really like muddy puddle looking hair. colour.
Yeah. I mean,
and it doesn't add, I mean, I like that it's different. I want it to be different. I don't like it to be the same. So I like the fact it's different. I guess, personally,
I mean, in the comics where it's like, if it's quite yellow, then it wouldn't really translate very well.
No.
Yeah.
But then we can change. I mean, I like the eyes and I like the flow the hair gives. But if you change it, this is what my problem is with the exclusive, is that if you change the head and you put the exclusive on, I think that, yeah, I'll turn it around to you so you can start.
Let me see.
So I think it leaves a really big gap in between his neck. I think the mane comes over and then there's this huge gap around his chest where it just looks a little big and awkward. I'm not feeling that gap.
I think as well, I mean, with the way that is now, his head looks small.
It does, doesn't it?
But I think it's just...
Doesn't look out, maybe it looks...
But it's that typical illusion of mouth open, long hair,
yeah,
mouth closed, short hair.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it does, obviously, let's take this round, sorry, for the camera.
But teeth on here are a bit better. They're darker, they're dirtier, they're a little bit cleaner lines.
Yeah.
Eyes look good. The definition in the actual guard on his head where he's making that sort of grimace face is really pronounced. The hairlines are pretty good
how
too.
uncomfortable that would be to have like a leather mask like that.
Oh yeah, it would be horrible.
It'd be horrible.
But great shading on it, great textures on it.
Yeah.
And the hair actually for this portrait is, I think, a little bit better in terms of shading and colours, light and dark.
Yeah.
So there is areas where it's superior, but I just think in terms of movement, like grabbing movement, the hair, flowing hair onto one side just works for me better.
Like model hair in it on this one.
For me, this is the best Sabretooth on the market, and I include Last Levels 1 and that included. I think this is the best, most accurate Sabretooth to buy. I think this is the king. I will hopefully get to see XMs in person. Yeah. But I can't get past the floating leg and I can't get past the kitten claws. I just can't. They're two areas that I think, definitely a better base though. Definitely 100% a better base.
Position of hand you didn't like.
Yeah, it's too close. I want it open so I can feel the threat of it. Because that's just size. It's just massive, you know. Yeah. If you were to hold that against like Logan, that would cover his whole back. It would be that big. That even his lat spread, that hand will cover it. That's how big that hand is. But I really like it, man. I'm very happy with it. I just don't like that bit. See, can you not see it? Can you not see that bit?
I know exactly.
Can you not see that bit there? It's exactly that bit.
I can see what you're saying.
It's like huge, that area.
I can see what you're saying because it's almost like the main.
There. It's all right from here, like displayed like that. It's like, boom, that's banging, man. But
I know what you're saying. It's almost like the main should be a bit more
in.
Yeah.
It's like they designed it for this head.
Yeah.
And then put the X head on it and it left this gap a little bit there. Yeah. But I prefer the regular.
I don't think that's a big deal.
Not a big deal, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not crazy, I hope.
I see what you're saying, but...
What a great paint though, eh?
I don't think it's
for a factory,
I don't think it's a big deal.
What a good paint job they did on this one.
I mean,
factory paint is spot on this, on the figure. It's exceptional.
Well, the figure and the tree, yeah, but the base is the base snow and rocks, yeah, and then the skull on that. The mane could be better.
I might get this redone.
So mane, the hair, teeth, snow and rocks all need redoing, but
I don't know. I would give the mane a pass for factory paint. I would give it a pass. I think the mane's okay.
The level, well, maybe it's also to do with the fact that the leather on the gloves and the leather on the body's done so well that it makes
the standards go high.
That makes it look worse.
I can live with the mane.
Also, the breaking up of the brown on the forearm, thigh, sorry, looked great as well there with the stitching, and then the on the back where
it's a very strong piece.
The brown goes down right down the spine, down the arse crack, and then back down the thighs.
It is really like
nice.
Alex was saying at the beginning of this video. It is very much you need to put this in the right place. If you want the best of this piece, you want it to be at its best. You need to position it in the right place. If you put this low, you might as well just fucking put a hammer through it because it's just a piece of shit low. It don't look right. You put it up high, it really comes alive, man.
Yeah, I think it looks. I mean, when it's up on your DTOF and I can't see it, it looks better. No, when it's up high, it looks more imposing. I think when you look at it, like even this level, I just think it looks a bit kind of like a bit too squashed, and a bit, you know, just from that angle. And again, yeah, when you look at it like that, yeah, that's much better.
It's just funny how it works. And it's very important because there are pieces like, you know, for example, XM Punisher on the bike. That piece is an exceptional piece, but you never can find the right place to show all of its qualities. You just can't show it because it's really hard to. In some positions, the bike just looks unreal, and the figure doesn't look great. And in others, the figure comes alive, and you hide the bike. So it's really
also with
hard.
With the different heads as well, you can pose at different places, but then it doesn't. Yeah.
But it's what happens, isn't it? It's angles make it. Do you want to do it? Go on, you can do it.
I didn't really know, but...
All right, I'll give it to him.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll measure this, or I'll measure it. And what we'll do is height on this one is just shy of 18 inches, which is about 46, just under 46 centimeters. The width on this is going to be hand to hand. So this is going to be 17.5 inches, which is about 44, 45 centimeters there. Maybe 17 actually. Yeah, maybe 17.
They label it as 18 wide.
Oh, do they?
So,
okay,
but I don't think it is. I think you're right.
Yeah, no, the tree's not more. No, yeah, I've got 17 and a half. And then you're going to go depth, which is going to be the knee to the back here. So the depth isn't that bad at all. It's like 13 and a half
that's right.
inches, which is about 33 centimeters. So depth ain't bad at all, actually.
Yeah.
Considering
and that's what makes it. If something's really wide and you've got it so it's not so deep, you can change things.
angle it, of course.
It's always useful.
Yeah.
It's when they're wide as well as they are deep that you are screwed because you just go, oh no, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, overall, yeah.
I think this is a huge success. I think Sideshow did a very good job. I think the score overall here would be decent.
I think in future, I think this is going to probably go up in value quite a lot because of the fact that people didn't jump on it, and the edition size for the exclusive is only 500. I think people are going to be kicking themselves in future. What we'll do then is we'll cut to him together with the Logan, and we'll finish off there.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just doing a little finish up with the two pieces together. This is kind of the first time I've seen the actual Sabretooth out like this. I've normally only seen it on top of the D-top up high. And it's a nice piece.
Yeah.
It's a nice piece. So, yeah, you can see, we'll go through the Sabretooth on another review.
But you get an idea of,
so
I think, how they're meant to be paired.
Yeah.
I think it's probably, or you can do them head on. So then you just turn them both that way. You can have them head on, like so. But yeah, like that.
Yeah. And they're both of these. I mean, I actually have the Logan at the moment on top of a D-top because of the fact that I just don't have the space. So I stuck.
Looks pretty good up high though. Anything that's sort of, yeah, I see. That's what I'm thinking.
So that's what I'm just getting at. And Sabretooth looks much better up high. So these two pieces, if you have them on top of a D-top or top shelf of a Besta, they're going to look great.
Yeah, definitely agree.
So yeah, what we do then? Finish up.
Yep.
We'll finish up there. So do the usual like, comment, subscribe, and share. As you can see, our social medias along the bottom there. Ring our bell. Ring my bell. Become part of our notification squad, and yeah, that's it really. Our Instagram, rad_Titan, or go to Facebook, type in Rad Titan, and you'll see all our groups and things on there. So yeah, okay.
Peace.
Cool beans.